Hey guys, how you doing? This is Manga Etc. and I'm here to bring the review for Kill Blue manga chapters 12 to 15. So basically just engulfing this challenge with I think his name was Tendo. But yeah. So it was bad. I was it was initially I was gonna say it was bad but it could have been worse, but I don't think it could have been. I feel like there was a better way they could have done it, would have made it more acceptable, at least in my eyes, but it was just bad. I remember in the last review I was basically saying like doing any sport that he is familiar with is not fair, it's cheating because at the end of the day he's trained in the sport, so therefore should have been able to overcome Ogami in any shape or form, regardless of his assassin skill, being able to correlate into the sport that would have been playing. But that's not what we get. So they challenge him to a football match. So rather they challenge him to a football match, he says, "All right, cool. Bring as many people as you want, but for me, it's just gonna be two men." So I was like, cool, alright, cool. The numbers are not equal, so that brings some level of fairness. I don't think that's the word. Fairness to Ogami. I know it wasn't gonna translate to an easy win, but it brings some fairness. So I was like, alright, fair, cool, fair enough. So Ogami doesn't even really go to recruit a team, but he ends up with a team of three, and I'm thinking, all right, cool, fair enough. Firstly, they brought back no, they never brought back, but uh, the guy with the pacifier, he's recruited. So I was thinking, all right, cool. They have two assassins on their team, raising the level of fairness, but again, I was still in my mindset. It's still unfair because he's trained in the sport. When they get a third man, he's a normal guy. I forget who it was actually, but he's a normal guy and not really adding much to the party, especially especially as in the game kicks off. Like he actually does really do nothing. So, like I said, 3-on-2 game of football, and very early within the game, baby, as I'm gonna call him from now on, or babyface, as I'm gonna call him from now on, he loses his pacifier, so therefore he cramps up. So what I feel like would have been the perfect thing to do, well, not the perfect thing to do, a better thing to do here is, because he's cramped up, because he's been put as a goalkeeper, let the other team score some goals. Yeah, we get this thing about how I think his name's Tender. I'm gonna keep calling him Tender. Well, he should be done within this series for now. I don't think he was gonna come back again. I'm gonna keep calling him Tender, but yeah, we learned that Tendo, like, he never really tries in any sport because he doesn't want to overwhelm his opponent, so he always plays to the skill level of, I guess, the highest person on the field is. And that could explain why they weren't scoring no goals up until that goal he scored later on, but that shouldn't have been the case. I feel like during this time where Babyface was, that's when the goals should have been coming in left, right, and center. And another thing as well, like, we know from Ogami that he basically says, alright, cool, my kicking power is good because I used to play kick the can as a kid or whatever. We're playing football now, so no correlation. And also another thing which I think is more of a big of a deal is the fact that we know that Ogami's power, strength, and all that things, they haven't transferred over. Like he's in his kid body now, and it's been mentioned that he's now weaker in his kid body. So his kicking power that we see displayed within these couple of chapters, questionable, because he's in his kid body, and his kid body is not the body of an athlete. It's not the body of an athlete, so his kicking power shouldn't be this good, or it shouldn't even be, and it definitely should be comparable to Tendo's. So that was a big no-no. So as within these couple of chapters, we also get some depth to the characters of Babyface, Tendo, and Ogami. We basically learn about his childhood. As we know that Ogami, he didn't live a normal childhood, so he couldn't really do the whole school thing and just doing things out of the sheer fun of it. And it's a thing where, as the game goes on, Ogami is just enjoying himself, and it's a mixture of, because he's enjoying himself and his previous assassin training is helping him to keep on par with Tendo. And I get it. I see what the mangaka is going for, but at the same time, I want to scream boo. I want to scream BS. I want to scream BS. Assassination skills is not a transferable skill, at least in my eyes, that can be transferred into a game of football and keep you on par with a professional athlete within this field. Regardless if they're holding back or not. So that really bugged me. And then Tendo, he finally does start trying properly. And it ends in a forfeit? This whole thing ends in a forfeit, and I'm like, really? The clash so hard that he was injured and therefore had to forfeit. I was like, really? Another thing that kind of bugged me is that when Babyface got his pacifier, his replacement pacifier, he was then showing skills, like, I get it, be more confident, but assassination skills shouldn't, I just feel that it shouldn't have been translated so well for them into a football match. Yeah, I know Babyface got played later on within the chapters rather, but still. So at the end of the day, I feel like that this game was a joke, this channel was a joke, and it shouldn't have turned out like that. What would have made more sense to me is that of how maybe even start off with Team Ogami, getting a few goals in here and there. It makes it seem like they're gonna win. They get more confident in their ability. They're like, alright, cool. And then Team Tendo turns around and just blitzes them, gets in a whole load of goals in there, right there, whatever. Then I guess you can have this moment with Ogami, adjusting and just being able to keep on par, or the store screens BS, but it would have been more realistic within the settings. And then don't have the reason Tendo forfeits because of a foot injury. Have it where they came to some sort of understanding via playing each other, and that's why he forfeits. So at the end of the day, it would have still been a win for Team Tendo, but because he forfeits, still can have that whole thing of Ogami Black, but you was winning, blah blah blah, you may not have caught up, kind of thing, rather than whatever. So we do get some growth from Tendo within these couple of chapters. He realised the wrong that he did. We see him make up with the leader of the home ec club. He even asks her out on a date. She kind of rejects him, but it is what it is there. But what surprised me more so was the conversation that he had after with Ogami, basically just realizing like, yo, I know you're not a normal guy, like who are you, kind of thing. Naren overhears this conversation, so I was like, yes, kind of the kind of thing that I was foreseeing. So because that kind of builds up like her suspicion of Ogami. When is she actually going to question him about it? I have no idea. That still might take some time, but at least we're building towards that. And yeah, I think that's everything I want to say about these couple of chapters. But one thing I didn't say within the review for chapter 11 is that I feel like at some point, I'm hoping at some point, we get a challenge from someone who is seemingly or a normal person. They lose the challenge, but that's just all in. Basically, I want him to be like a double agent, so he's pretending to be a normal person, but he's Billy Assassin as well. I hope we get something like that as things go along the line. So for this challenge, rather, yeah, so as these couple of chapters as a whole, 12 to 15 as a whole, I can only really give it a 2-star rating. Kind of just scraping out of 1, if I'm honest. And like always, guys, I'm asking for your thoughts and opinions. If you haven't already, please go to my YouTube channel. Most importantly, take care. Have a nice day.